How do you take the season-opening loss for the Lakers? Do we have a major problem brewing here in Los Angeles? What do you think?
I'm never one to make hot take assumptions, but I do think it's clear that they need to figure out how this dynamic is going to work, right? And that's why you saw Russell Westbrook, and we've done some reporting on it as well. Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis had to do a lot of talking and conversing before the trade happened on draft night, where Russell Westbrook ended up with the Lakers, because they need to figure out if they could get on the same page. And at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice, and it's going to take a lot of these guys changing their games. And Russell Westbrook, we saw him try to slash a little bit. He obviously did not shoot well from the field, but we're going to need to see him take more jumpers, make more jumpers this year, playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron loves to have shooters around him. That's something that he's preached year in and year out. And so to see how this team comes together, it will take time. There's no question. But I don't know if you can really judge them before they get to that 15-20 game mark.
Well, I mean, Westbrook's uniform number almost matched the number of points he had in the first half last night, and it is just odd to see him out on the floor trying to fit in. I mean, that's really what we're looking at, because of the preseason, hardly any time on the floor for all the big three together. So what is the plan? Like, is it just to him shoot and it's just adding him to what LeBron normally does? Are we going to see some sort of hybrid? What are you hearing out of Lakers camp with what Frank Vogel's plan is to make this all work?
Yeah, I think the goal was to have both of those guys play off each other, as best as they can while they're on the floor. But also when LeBron's off the floor, having the ability to have a dynamic playmaker be in the game at any point in time. That's what the Lakers envisioned with Dennis Schroeder last year. It's whenever LeBron James went to the bench, having a de facto point guard. You've seen LeBron James play a lot of point guard since coming to L.A., and having another guy that can play that position, be dynamic, make plays, that's what the Lakers envisioned with Schroeder. And now Westbrook has that mantle. And so seeing how he can take that in stride when LeBron is on the bench, I think that's the best case scenario. But when they're on the floor together, they need to find a way to compete and win so that plus-minus isn't in the negatives.
Okay, and what'd you make of the Warriors game last night? They looked pretty sharp, moving the ball around and making shots, even when Steph wasn't. And he still wound up with his first triple-double in 5 years, and Clay isn't even back yet. What do you think about the Warriors?
I mean, I love the way that Jordan Poole, we saw in his first couple seasons, he just did not gain much traction. And you could tell at the tail end of last year he started to find his stride, but there were questions on whether they were going to pick up his third-year rookie option, and the Warriors ended up picking it up. And the entire preseason he played at such a high level. I'm curious to see where he fits in long-term. Is he a sixth man down the line when Klay Thompson does come back? Do they start him alongside Klay? But it's no question that he has the potential to be a significant scorer in this league, and he's already proven that. So seeing them go back to that ball movement, I think Iguodala coming back to the Warriors was a step in that direction. And also having a healthy Draymond Green. You saw him go through the ups and downs last year. He dealt with COVID last year during training camp. James Wiseman was out to start the year, and then he came back for opening night. So they're really not dealing with those losses in and out of the lineup. You're seeing a steady group, and now come December, January, they're going to have Klay Thompson and James Wiseman back in that lineup.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.